Hey guys, welcome to Blender 2.8 tutorial. We're gonna keep it simple and just make a table and try and use specific functions and non-destructive workflows. Okay, so let's just drop in a cube here and yeah, let's get started. So I don't have a reference for this, so yeah, we're gonna go with the flow. I've got a table in mind and it's mainly just to look at some tools and stuff. So here I want the origin to be set there, um, 3D cursor. Maybe I can put screencast keys on 20. Okay, so just if anyone is wondering, I use machine tools. It's an add-on free for Blender. Okay, so this is gonna be our legs. So I'm just creating one so we have an idea of the height here. Maybe we can scale down the bottom just a little bit and kind of shift this guy over, something like that. We'll work with that and change places as we go along. So how many blocks did I move it? Oh gee, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's bring in a circle here, something like that. Um, let's give it, let's say 24. Why not? 24. Okay, so let's fill it just for now. Um, where does face go? Shift in. Okay, and let's bring it up. Something like that. And yeah, so we need to make this a bit bigger. Something like that. And we'll see why soon. Okay, so we've got our table. This is going to be quite huge if you take it in real life scale, but anyway, we'll work with that for now. Actually, we're going to remake this leg, or not remake it, but do some things with it. So let's set up our leg to be sure we can work with it the way we want. So I'm going to drop in a curve here, path, whatever, rotate it, go into edit mode, and I want to hold control to snap so that I have the first point here on its origin. Okay, so there it's on its origin, same origin as the foot itself. And let's clear the scale and rotation, whatever, on this foot and scale this guy down. New thing in 2.8 is like random colors for your wireframe. Pretty cool. And let's bring that down. So there's funky things that happen when we scale down the curve in object mode, so I'm just going to scale it in edit mode and kind of line it up to how it should be. Cool, so that should work. Doesn't matter if the size is not perfect, but it looks like it's good. Okay, so now we can add some modifiers here. So we want a curve modifier, we want our NURBS path, get some funky stuff like that happening, that's fine. Let's see if another axis does something good for us. This one kind of flipped it around. It's how we want it, but it's flipped. Does that mean I can rotate this 180? Nah. Or, okay. Anyway, that's fine. Now we can just bring it down and snap it to the floor here. Don't care, just bring it down. more or less there, and that should be fine. Um, Next thing I want to do is add some loop cuts. So let's, so many for now, one, two, three, four, that's fine. And now I want to parent this thing to the curve. That way we can just move the curve around and all that would work. And now normally if we bend our curve, our mesh is going to bend with it. Perfect, just what we wanted. Okay, so now that that's set up, um, all that's good, we can work on this table. So we definitely want solidify on it. So I don't know if there's any scale here. There was a bit, so let's take that down. So that could work for our tabletop. I am gonna apply this because we're gonna need to make some changes to this table. So the first thing I want to do is scale this and hold Shift Z, bring it out quite a bit. Uh, Maybe not right now. Let's remove this guy. Maybe I won't even use it. Dissolve edges. Let's bevel this all the way down, something like that. Give it one, two, three. Yeah, it should be fine. Give it three like that. Okay. And finally, we can select this edge here just because I like using the weighted mode with the bevel modifier. So we can add a bevel mod here, give it 2 maybe, and change it to weight. Change this to smooth. So we just gonna get the bevel here now. Should Okay, so let's insert this bottom edge here, or bottom face, sorry, just so we get a better effect here. And we've got this edge here that might be a bit too close, so let's take it up to the top respective part, and now we should be able to okay, we've got some weird thing happening here. Let's remove that. Let's undo some stuff. Because at the moment I'm not even sure if we're going to need that, because we're going to get a bevel automatically with the subdivision, but I'm going to show you where we're really going to need that bevel in the next step. So let's bring our cursor back to the center, cursor to origin, and bring in a cube. And immediately I just want to change its draw options here to wire, and now we can bring it to the side with the snapping, something up to there, and scale it out like that. Okay, so maybe I want to bring it one block again, so I don't want that to be too big. Even a bit more, something like that could work. take it up. Let's see how it looks from the top. Yeah, I think I preferred more here, and then we'll just need to move our legs over, something like that. Okay, sorry about the noise. And now we can add a boolean here to this guy. So boolean, put it on top here before the subdivision. Let's turn the subdivision off for the moment. And for the boolean, we want a difference, and we want to boolean this to be our cutting object. And what we want actually is intersect. Okay, so that's working fine, but now we need to duplicate this object, leave it in place, and remove the boolean. Okay, and I'm lying, we don't want to remove the boolean, we want to change the boolean here to difference. There we go, that's better. So that's exactly what we're looking for. On this one we apply, on this one we apply, because we do want those shapes. And now, as you'd already figured out, since we used the boolean, we've got some cleanup to do here. So first things first, actually that does kind of work out, so we might as well keep it. Yeah, there's not too much problems here at the moment. We can do something here by using the knife tool somewhat there, and using C to snap it. I don't know why it's doing funky stuff, but anyway, it's it there. And now we can connect these two guys and these two guys. Okay, so that already makes a bit of a difference. We could definitely turn this into quads. So what I will do is undo this quickly so that we can take this edge here, bevel it. So we want 1, 2, and we want more like that. And there we go. That's looking better. So now we can connect all of these guys like so, giving us some pretty quads. So noisy this time of the day. Okay, quads, 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 make everyone happy. There we go. Here, of course, we do not have quads yet. Okay, who knows what we're gonna do here. We'll figure that out later. For now, we're happy with that. I'm gonna shift this guy over. Like here, move over. Okay, this shift holds 1. So this tools I'm using here, once again, it's for this specific tool. It comes from machine tools. So yeah, it's basically a normal slide like I'm doing here. Sliding the vertice along, it's normal, but with this we can only go along these edges. If I wanted to go in this direction where my mouse is, I'd have to go up and then down and so on. But with machine tools we can select this vertice and then select the direction we want to go in, shift alt 1, and then go in that normal direction. Okay, so that's really cool. Anyway, I'm just cleaning up a bit here. And yeah, so funky stuff happening over there, but we're going to solve that now, because we're going to select all these edges. Now this helicopter has to okay, and I want want to add the mean bevel weights on these to 1, and I want to shift this edge up ever so slightly. Okay, sorry about the noise, just give me 2 seconds. Okay, it sounds like he might be gone. So here we want 3 bevel or segments, and we want to change this to weights because we assign where it should go, and bring this weight down, something like that. Okay, so that's exactly what we're looking for. We got a nice bevel there and smooth shading, and we've got a nice bevel there. There are some shading, slight shading artifacts here, which we are going to resolve. Um, Even we can resolve some of it right now by doing that, joining those there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So we can either join that like this and have still quads over there, or we can join that right across. I'm just going to do that for now. We can come in here later. We've got quads anyway. Um, so yeah, that's looking quite decent. Down here, we can just leave that as is for now. Okay. So there we go. That piece is cleaned up. If we put this guy back on, it looks nice and smooth, no problems at all. Great, so let's hop to this guy quickly. Oh, not again. What? Okay, so same procedure. Okay, it seems like the helicopter's gone. So I'm just selecting all of these parts for the bevel modifier again. Um, so yeah, that looks about right. And then we just set the mean bevel weight to 1 and add our bevel modifier, set it above the subsurf, set it to weights 3, and then we can just come and adjust this size here. Shade smooth, and there we go. All looks great. Drop that guy on again, and there we go. So that's what we left with for the table. Now we can just mirror this across that side, and what we can do with this guy now is simply, sorry, I think X vertices, and now we can just add a mirror to him. So mirror, make sure it's on top of everything else, and make sure clipping is enabled, and we've got our mirror. Okay, so when we deleted the one side, it kind of destroyed this just because we didn't do enough cleanup on it yet. So let's look what we left with at the bottom here, and of course that's what our problem is. So let's fix this quickly. Easy fix. What's this edge doing here? You definitely need it. So let's just. So I should be using a mirror from one side to the other. I don't know why I am not, but this way it just shows you that it can be done manually and it doesn't take that long. At the end of the day, some people find this relaxing to do this kind of modeling like this. I myself don't, but anyway. So now we've got that, and finally we have to delete the one side. So let's get that over with. Now that everything should be fine. So I'm just going to use an add-on now that you guys know how to use that. And you can see we've got this kind of problem here, and that's just because the mirror modifier is not on top of the stack. And yeah, now we basically getting to the end. I mean, the good stuff is done. We need to duplicate our leg and make sure this thing is kind of making sense. It might be a bit thick if you ask me. So let's scale Shift Z this guy, something like that. We need the top part here to go a bit higher. Too much, too little. No, that's fine. Okay, so we've got our leg. Let's mirror it across on the X here, and let's mirror it across on the Y as well. And I don't know, let's make this leg a bit more interesting now. So let's grab this curve here, and using proportional editing, I want to curve it maybe something like that. And then we, and I'm looking more to the other side to fix this. Um, so the curve is really funny, and with these legs, it's wood, so we don't want a crazy angle. We're gonna come and fix this manually at the end. So this is just to get an overall shape. So from this side, we might want to do the same thing. So maybe this is not the most practical way of doing it um, for this kind of legs, but anyway, we're gonna have some cleanup at the end. As you can see, these things are rotated really funky. Anyway, um, but that's our legs over there. Let's go ahead and finalize this curve. Get rid of it. Here's my curve? It's there. Okay. Ah, I need to take these guys. Alt P, clear parent, and keep transformation. Now I should be able to delete this guy. Okay. So coming back to these legs, now we want to fix this stuff. So grab that. I want to scale Z0. Oopla. I don't want these ones. Scale Z0. Bring this down flat to the ground. And now if needed we can fix some of these things. So from this side maybe it's fine. I don't know, maybe we can shift it in a bit more, something like that, and with a smaller something like this. Okay, so this side I'm happy with it. It's just the top here really funky. Scale Z0, and that's better. So finally maybe I want these guys brought out, something like that. Okay, maybe bring these ones slightly more and just edit these others, or these ones, just these ones here to kind of match that slightly. And then from this view I want to take these ones and bring it this way a little bit, something like that. Okay. Okay, so just something like that gives it a different kind of shape. um, Finally, we can add a bevel. Once again, I just want to clear the scale on this guy, just in case. We want the bevel to be right on top, so let's close these guys down here. Take it up. 3 should be fine, and let's bring the amount much lower, even more than that, I think. Switch it to angle again. It's gonna catch that piece, or no, it's not catching that piece. So something like that should be fine for now. Um, let's add a holding edge up here, although we're going to delete that face, but anyway, put another one here, and then let's add our subdivision surface and drop that on top of the mirrors as well, in this case only. So now we've got a smooth curve down here, and we've still got our bevel. Let's add shade smooth, and our bevel we can easily still adjust how big it's going to be there. Cool, so that's our legs, and now we just need our pieces in between, which is very basic. We just grab a cube, um, scale it down something, Control A, scale. Okay, so let's bring this up, make sure it makes sense here. And we can make use of some snapping tools here. So GZ, snap it to that edge there, and that should be fine. Now we can scale it more on the Y, something like that. Clear the scale and look at it from this view and just drop it more or less in the center here. Okay, so something like that should be fine. And all we need to do is shift D. Maybe we can let's snap it to the cursor. Why not? Rotate it 90. And this way we can use this method again of snapping it up here. I might have caught a higher edge. Okay, so like that, and then it's just to place it the same as the other side, kind of in the center here. And there we go. Now we can mirror this guy. Shift Alt X, Shift Alt Y. Hoopla. Where'd you go? Control A, rotation, Shift Alt Y, Shift Alt Y, Shift Alt Y. That's better. Okay. So we basically got most of our table done here. The next part, we're quickly going to make some hinges, which shouldn't be too complicated. We're going to need a cylinder. We're going to rotate it on the x-axis, something like that. Make it really small because it's going to be small, but not too small because we want to work on it for now. So let's scale it out, something like that. First mistake I made here is it's way too dense in geometry, so let's get another one in here. Cylinder, we want this much less, let's say I don't know, 8, yeah, 8. Okay, rotate x90. Sorry if I'm repeating a lot of the steps, it's just for the beginners and stuff. Up in here, okay, so we want one cut in there, and we're gonna want another cut here, another cut here. So I just want to work this out the way I'm gonna find it easiest. So I want this piece. Okay, so I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna hit V and keep it there and hit F to fill that face. Okay, then I want so I want this full piece, and then I want this full piece here. I think, yeah, I think so. And then I want to grab U and remove U from there. Okay, select the other face, F, and I'm gonna do the same here, V, F. Now I can select these two and say good riddance, and we've got two cylinders like that. And yeah, so what am I trying to achieve here? Okay, let's delete these faces. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how this thing should look. Okay, so let's extrude that out, scale it on the X and the 0. Okay, great, so we've got that. Hoopla. Let's bring it out. Let's pop it there actually, and then bring it out one more like that. Okay, so I think, if I'm not mistaken, like a dumbass, that I should be joining these guys. So let's give it a go. Control E, bridge edge loops, and shouldn't have faces remaining there, but who knows? No, I don't. So I want to fill these guys and these guys, um, and all that's good and dandy. So before I go any further, let's make sure this works. So let's do that. I'm gonna duplicate it, shift it. I want to use increment snapping here, shift it here. I want to scale x minus 1, and hey, look at that. Okay, great. Kind of what I was looking for. So we've got that. Cool. This part's intersecting there at the moment, so let's snap this and things are just gonna work out once we use bevel modifier and stuff like that. Why are you snapping like an idiot? Don't snap like an idiot, please. Okay, cool. So that's great. Basically, I should have done this before, so we're gonna redo this duplication for anyone that was confused. This is gonna help you. Um, yeah, so let's drop in some holding loops where they need it. Definitely up in here. We're gonna need another one up in here. Yeah, align, blah. We've got auto mode on, turn that stuff off. That way we can bring it to there and then shift it across. Do the same here. Shift it across. Once again, mirror modifiers are your friend. Don't be slow and dumb like I am. Use it because it's there for you to use it. So, but that should do the trick. Yeah, we should actually be putting one in there, and let's do some cleanup stuff here. So we've got 4 here. We've got some problemo. We can what can we can do that, and then that's solved. Okay, maybe not ideal, but that's what we're doing at the moment. So I'm just going ahead and fixing this. In this one's case, it's going to be on the inside, so I'm going to inset it somewhat like that, and then I'm going to delete that face. Like, goodbye, good riddance. And here we've got to do our tedious job of repairing broken stuff. There we go. So that's it. Now we need to delete this guy because we messed up. Duplicate this one, scale x minus 1, boom. And then we just want to take both of them, take this guy, and shift. Okay, I see what you're doing. It's shifting that top one, so shift top one to there. Perfect. So this is great because now we can just rotate. I said X. Okay, so I need to clear rotation. Clear rotation. Ah, no, I was just being dumb. So rotate Y, and that's great. Let's add a nice subdivision here and a nice subdivision here. Bad things happening. Very bad. Very bad things happening over here, and I can see why. So let's fix this bad thing that should not be happening to us. So there we go. This thing really doesn't need to be perfect. So it's quite a small shape, and you can spend more time fixing this up, making it look nicer. What is wrong? Hello. I don't like that kind of behavior. How did that even happen? Let's fix things here. What's happening here? Okay, so that one's looking better. Any problems? Ah, this helicopter. Dear God. Anyway, okay, so it seems like all our problems are resolved. So now we've got our hinges here. We can put them on one subdivision, and finally we can place this on our table. So let's bring this up here. Let's scale it down quite a bit, rotate 180, and let's just place it here. So something like that, and let's test this. So what I want to do is let's clear rotation on this guy, okay, and then rotate it 90, and then we can line this up more or less, something like that. And now we can clear this rotation here. And just to test this, we can take this guy and parent it. Control P, off, Control P. Now if we rotate that, that should rotate with it. Okay, so that's great, and this is actually setting up where we want it. So um, the only next thing, we've got some edits to do here. We'll do that right now. I want I want to clear the parents quickly. Alt P, clear it. Let's take this guy, shift it up to say there. Okay, Control 7. That's fine. And maybe we want one more. So let's Alt D, make a linked duplicate. Put this one somewhere here, and then we can mirror these guys later on. So now what I can do is do this parent hierarchy. Okay, and yeah, there we go. We can take this, rotate Y just to make sure. Okay, so take both of these guys and mirror it across the Y here, and we should have that, and then we can mirror it across the X as well. And there we go, we've got our things happening, just not this one. Needs to be mirrored as well. Shift Alt X, Shift Alt Y. And what I can do is take these guys just to match the distance in between, shifting over slightly, and there we go. We've got a completed and functional kind of chair. Um, and if we take this hinge here, we should be able to bring that down, and everything seems to work fine. So we can bring a high res viewport here, change that, and there we go. Got some shadows popping up here, lights coming through there. our hinges are working as suspected. And yeah, in the next video, we'll go through texturing the sky, adding some bolts to that, and UV unwrapping and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and that it was useful to some of you guys. Um, yeah,